Hey y'all, this is Dietra D. Welcome back to another full episode of the Dietra D Show. I hope all of you all had a happy Thanksgiving. I know I did. This morning, we are going to talk about women who fight and kill over men. Now, this is nothing new. Some women, not all, some women have been fighting each other over men for decades upon decades. Now, I'm a 70s baby. I was born in 1972. And believe me when I say I'm not making light of this at all. But let's be real. This is nothing new. Men have had mistresses, side chicks, side hoes, whatever you want to call them. There have been men that have always had multiple women. So that's not new. And there have always been women who have confronted the other woman, slapped the other woman, punched the other woman. But there's a trend, and it seems to be getting worse. I hope it ends sooner rather than later, but it has definitely gotten worse over the last several years. And that's these women who are extremely dangerous, who it seems like they will do, it seems like they will do anything to hold on to whatever trash man that they have, which includes fighting and killing another woman behind them. We all remember Amy Fisher. That was one-sided though. Poor Mary Jo. I don't believe, if I remember correctly, it's been so many years since that happened. I don't think she even knew that Amy existed when Amy showed up to her doorstep and shot her. And then I don't know if you all remember this one, that astronaut Lisa Nowak, who drove from Houston all the way to Orlando, Florida, to confront her rival over a fellow astronaut. She wound up in prison. And of course, Betty Broderick. Now, Betty's story, in my opinion, is a little different. Now, do I condone, and I've had this discussion about Betty with so many different women for so many years. Do I condone Betty killing her ex-husband and his new wife? Of course not. No matter what happens, you don't have a right to take a gun and go and kill someone. But like I said, Betty's story is a little bit different. It's like she was driven to that point of madness. Betty is one of the few women, even after what she did, unpopular opinion, but I stand behind Betty Broderick. I really do. Her ex-husband, I think his name was Dan, and his new wife, the things that they were doing behind the scenes, just picking at Betty. Sometimes you can push people too far and you don't know how they're going to react. So that's why I say I stand behind Betty on that one. And even to this day, Betty makes no excuses for what she did. She will happily tell anybody that'll listen while she still sits behind bars that she shot her ex-husband and his new wife, and she's glad she did it, and she would do it again. She proudly says that. I know it's not funny, but yeah, so, but anyway, I digress. So, back to the topic. It seems to have gotten worse these last several years. And I decided to do this episode now because just a few weeks ago, there was another story of a young mother who was shot and killed just after dropping her child off at school. Now, there have been conflicting stories, and I don't know which is true because I wasn't there. She was shot and killed by the new woman of her child's father. Now, some stories are saying that the woman that was shot and killed, that she instigated the fight, and the woman who killed her was defending herself. Again, I don't know which story is true. I wasn't there. The bottom line is that a woman is dead and her child is now without his mother. I want and need for a lot of you women out there to start having some self-esteem and start seeing the bigger picture. Do you want to spend the rest of your life behind bars over some garbage ass man? There are too many men walking around for any woman to be attacking another woman or even thinking about killing another woman. There's just too many men out there. Why do that? And it's a pattern. Most of you, and don't get me wrong, when you're with somebody, whether you're the wife or even if you're just a girlfriend, when you're with someone and you find out that they have been seeing someone else, of course that hurts. Of course you're going to get angry. That's not what I'm saying, because it has happened to me. And full transparency, again, in my early 20s, I was a mistress. But I'm 53 now, and again, that was in my early 20s, so don't judge me. But I never even thought about doing anything to his wife, because number one, I was the other woman. So why would I want to do anything or say anything concerning his wife? He's the one cheating on his wife with me. But anyway, it's like, I don't understand what goes through a lot of women's minds when they do that. And this going to other women's houses, when the hell did some of you all start doing that? That is just ridiculous. Not to mention dangerous, because in case you all don't know, nowadays a lot of people are packing and going over, as we have seen, going over to someone's house uninvited to fight. Yeah, that can get you pumped full of hot lead. And there, speaking of that, that was another story. Happened about 2 months ago. Black lady found out her husband had himself a side chick. And I think she had at least 2 kids. It might have been 3, but I know she had at least 2 children. She decides she's going to skip her little ass over to the other woman's house. And at this time, her husband was there. Went over to the other woman's house to fight. I think she kicked the door in, and the woman wound up shooting and killing her. So now you have 2 children that don't have their mother. The wife is dead. Last time I checked, I gotta Google and see if there's an update. But the last time I checked, we already know the wife, she's dead, and the woman that shot and killed her, she was still behind bars last I checked. And where's the husband? Off somewhere doing whatever he's doing, probably laying up under yet another woman. Y'all gotta stop this, because it's not worth it. If you find out that your boyfriend or your husband is screwing around with another woman, have yourself a nice little cry, because I know it doesn't feel good. Not only have I been a mistress, but I've also been the woman that has been cheated on. And it does not feel good. Go go home, sit in the dark, play some sad music, have yourself a nice long cry, and then get up, wipe your tears, throw his shit out on the front lawn, get the locks changed, or either you pack your stuff, go and live somewhere else, and leave his behind in the dust. No man or no woman is worth you losing your freedom or possibly your life. There are too many men walking around for that. And I've seen women of all races doing it. But with me being a black woman, I really see that a lot in our community. I hate to say it, but, gotta keep it real. I see too many black women out here fighting. I mean, just literally trying to kill the other woman, and some actually have done it. Just out here fighting, and the men, usually 9 times out of 10, the men that they're fighting over, they're not worth a damn. Stop it, ladies, please, because it is not worth it. This is one of the many reasons why I am happily single, and I'm single by choice. But some of you will go out here and just fight to the death over a piece of man. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. There are so many other women besides Betty Broderick that are sitting behind bars right now because they let their emotions get out of control and they did something that they should not have done. I will sit in a corner rocking like a baby and crying for weeks at a time if I need to. But what I'm not going to do is pick up a gun or any other kind of weapon and attempt to hurt another woman behind some man. And like I said at the beginning, these kind of women who do that, and I think they're trash. If any woman that attempts to hurt another woman behind some man, yes, I think you're trash. I think you are garbage. And the women, speaking to the women that are side chicks, mistresses, there are too many men out there for you to be messing around with somebody else's man. Stay single or go get your own man. I haven't even looked at a man in probably 3, almost 4 years now. And I can't begin to tell you how much peace I have in my life. I mean, who wants all that drama in their life anyway? It's just not worth it. It really isn't. There's so much to do out there. So much. Instead of running behind some man or running behind his other woman. I have actually known women personally. I'm not going to say their names. But I have actually personally known women that have gone and sat in their car outside the side chick's house. Like, why? You gonna miss a good night's sleep so you can go and sit in your car outside some other woman's house trying to see if your husband or boyfriend is inside? Stop doing that to yourselves, women. Because I'm going to say it again, there's too many men in this world to be acting a fool behind one. And again, the type of men that some of you are out here fighting over and practically killing each other over is usually a garbage ass man. And something else you're doing, you're just feeding their ego when you do this kind of stuff. When they see two women going at each other, trust me, they like that. They really do. That makes them feel good. That strokes their ego. Stop stroking their egos and leave their asses in the dust. And go work on yourself. It's not worth it. I'll be damned if I'm going to spend any amount of time in prison behind some man. Hell, behind anybody. I wish I would. Get some self-esteem, ladies. Work on yourselves. You'll eventually find a good guy. Trust me. And if you don't, guess what? It's not the end of the world. Be thankful that you have peace in your life. Be thankful that you're in your right frame of mind. Be thankful that you're safe. Be thankful that you don't have any chaos, drama in your life. Because that kind of stuff, all that is drama and chaos. And again, who in their right frame of mind? Well, I guess that's the point, because you can't be in your right frame of mind if you out here fighting and killing somebody else over some man. Life is too beautiful for all of that. Love yourselves, ladies. Ain't nothing like a good dose of healthy self-esteem. Because when you love yourself and you have that healthy dose of self-esteem, you're not going to put up with any of that bullshit. You're not going to be out here participating in all of that drama. Because no woman who gives a damn about herself and about her life, and especially if she has children, about her children, she's not going to be out here behaving that way. She's going to do just what I told you you should do. She's going to have herself a good cry. And then when she gets through crying, she's going to pick herself up. And she's going to make her next move. She's not going to be out here stalking some woman, trying to pick a spot and a time where she's going to jump on her and fight her, or where she's going to attempt to kill her. That just sounds crazy even saying it. I love watching that channel, the ID channel. I'm sure y'all are familiar with it. I love watching those shows. Do you know I have lost count how many different shows and how many different episodes that I have seen of women killing other women. Here's another one. This white lady, and she was very attractive. This white lady was, I can't remember the man's name, but he was and no, it's not Steve McNair. We all know how that happened, how that ended. But he used to be in the NFL, and I'm pretty sure if I said his name, a lot of you would recognize it. But for the life of me, I cannot remember that man's name right now. But anyway, he was a former NFL player, and he had been dating, the NFL player, he was black, and he had been dating his girlfriend for a long time. They had been together, I think, almost 10 years. That's a whole nother topic. But he was a, quote, player. And this other woman who was also white, she met him and got fixated on him. And come to find out, this was not her first time being fixated on a man. She had a pattern of this. Long story short, this man was seeing both of these women at the same time. Now, the original girlfriend, she was completely in the dark. At first, she had no idea that he was cheating on her. She wound up getting pregnant. Damn, I can't even remember her name. But I'm seeing the story in my mind, so I hope I'm not leaving anything out. But to make a long story short, the OG girlfriend, she wound up getting pregnant. Now, by the time she got pregnant, if I remember correctly, the football player, he had wound up kicking the other woman to the curb, because by the time his girlfriend got pregnant, the other woman, her crazy had started coming out. Now, like I said, come to find out, she had a pattern of this kind of behavior of sleeping with these men and becoming fixated on them and stalking them. She had a restraining order out on her from a past relationship. This woman, the crazy one, she wound up killing this man's pregnant girlfriend. And these were not the early stages of pregnancy. This woman was so pregnant that she was just weeks away from having her baby. This crazy heifer went to this woman's home, shot and killed her. So she didn't just kill the woman, she killed two people. She murdered the woman and she murdered her baby, because like I said, the woman was just weeks away from giving birth to her child. Isn't that sick? You're so fixated on having this man, you go and murder this pregnant woman and her baby. This woman did nothing to you. She did not hurt you. You were sleeping with her boyfriend. It was just a sad situation. Luckily, she didn't cover her tracks as well as she thought, because she was eventually caught. There was a trial and she was prosecuted. She's still sitting in prison today, thank God. But there are actually women out there like that, and it's scary. It makes you not even want to get involved in a relationship with anybody, because you don't know if they're being completely honest with you. You don't know if they have some crazy wife or some crazy girlfriend that they haven't told you about. It's just ridiculous, and it's scary. No man is worth that. There are a lot of women walking around out there nowadays that can be just as dangerous, if not more so, than some of these men. I'm going to need some of y'all to get a grip. Get some mental health help. Start loving yourselves. Because it's scary out there. It really is. It is scary. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think. Have you had an encounter with a crazy woman? Have you been the crazy woman? I know some of y'all not going to admit it if you have. But y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Anywho, thank you for listening. This has been Dietra D of the Dietra D Show. And I will see you all on the next episode. Bye-bye.